Well, I grew up in Siberia, in a collapsing Soviet Union, and I have a lot of stamina as a result. I was a professional swimmer growing up, and a member of the Russian Olympic Reserve, uh, which I think was definitely character shaping for me as I was growing up, and it kept me away from trouble. To put it simply, so that was the starting point. And then I moved to the US and I did my studies there before enrolling at a graduate program in international policy and at Columbia. And JP Morgan was my first job coming out of that program in 2005. And I've been here since, and I've changed a number of roles, the latest being head of sovereign advisory, where I have built up the team from scratch. And we consult governments globally on how to improve their credit positioning, and provide all sorts of policy related advice, on also strategic communication and for investors, credit agencies, even multilateral organizations, etc. So that's where I am now, and very excited to have joined the board, and look forward to making an impact if I can. For me, I think what sport means is resilience and ability to fail in the right way, right? So you fail and you get up, because that's what every competition is, right? You either win or you learn. And so that, I think, has been an invaluable life skill that has made me mentally stronger, and that has allowed me to persevere and achieve the goals that I've sort of set for myself. I applied because I was impressed with the breadth that potentially coalition offers, and the depth of the exercise, and at least of what it could potentially mean for the society. Because having worked with a lot of governments globally, I realize how little attention is usually paid to sports. Some countries are better at it than others, the US being a very good example, right? Because sports is very prominent in high school and colleges. The more we're successful we are in selling sports to the younger generation, the healthier they will be, both mentally and physically. And it will be hugely, the returns to the governments who invest in this aspect of development, I think, are tremendous, because then you will spend less on healthcare. And that's not the analysis that governments do, unfortunately, and not in depth. So so I think coalition is very well placed for that type of advocacy. I would like the government to be more aware of what sport for development means, because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding in the concept, so as a result, investment is short, right? So if we can get more sort of investment and more awareness, I think that would be a huge success. And I think we're starting from a fairly low point. So in a way, there's only way up. And obviously the other side of it is and COVID is on our side in a way, is getting people aware, right, of how important, maybe, to speak frankly, parents and teachers aware, right, as to how important it is to dedicate time to physical activities, because that will set their kids up for mental challenges as well. I think that through the directness of messages, right, we really need to outline some of the goals, And ideally, and I know this is very difficult, and I know the coalition is now trying to do this, is to through analytical evidence, right? And so that's why I strongly believe that surveys and sort of wider distribution of surveys could potentially do help us in this momentum to sort of to build a better case and to prove our point to the government. Because I mean, at the end of the day, governments need to sell their strategies to their constituents, and it will make it easier for them if we provide them with these points, with the analytical evidence, as I mentioned. I mean, I obviously need to study first, right? And to learn from you guys and to understand what the organization is trying to achieve at its core. The skill set that I can bring is understanding of the government's mentality, right? Maybe less so at the Ministry of Sports, but more so at the Ministry of Finance, because that is the ministry that controls the purse, and these are the entities that I work with globally. Understand how they think, because for them they need to allocate the money, right? And I think they need just very strong justifications for allocating that their budgets.